right? Yeah, you getting the interview call, and after getting the interview call, what service do you get? So in this context, essay plays should be able to practice about 40 to 50 essays spread over, let's say, 6 months to 1 year.
So are you a troublemaker or you want to be a troubleshooter?
For example, in 2016, we had an essay topic called "Is Cooperative Federalism in India a Myth
Or reality?
Is it not a myth or a reality?" Right? Time is a premium for the mains examination, right? See, 150 words you need to write in about 6 minutes.
Hi friends, welcome to EduTalk series of Amigos IAS Academy. Today in this particular episode, we would like to spend time on how to write a good general essay answer in the UPSC mains exam. So most of you know that quite often it is the general essay paper which is the game changer. Quite often it decides you getting the interview call, and sometimes it also decides you getting a good rank in this exam. And unfortunately, this is the most neglected part in the UPSC mains exam, not just by the students, but even by the institutes. So we have with us Govind sir, who has successfully conducted essay test series program last year with Amigos IAS Academy. So let's talk to sir and let us try to bring some insights with respect to general essay paper from sir. Hi sir, good evening. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good evening, Harnath Garu. And good evening to the students. We welcome you to the EduTalk series of Amigos IAS Academy. As Harnath sir has just told us, right, we will discuss the significance of general essay from the UPSC perspective. Remember students, this paper is for 250 marks. When the UPSC has specifically said that we will evaluate you for 250 marks, it also explains its significance. Right? UPSC wants you to focus on this subject. Now, if you look at the significance of general essay, one definitely is the marks awarded to it, 250 marks. You have 2 essays, right, which you'll have to write in a space of 3 hours. That is 180 minutes. So 125 marks for each essay, right? And coming to the students. Now, remember, you will be writing your UPSC essay paper, which is in your initial part of your, this is the first exam which is conducted, isn't it? Before your optionals, before your general studies and optionals. Suppose you do your UPSC essay paper well, it will have very positive impact on the remaining examinations also. Suppose, let's say, God forbid, you don't write your UPSC paper, right? And you will be knowing once you come out of the examination hall whether you've written well or not. That automatically, as a person who's written the examination, and also you would have written the examination once or twice, your experience itself will tell you whether you've written a good essay or not. Suppose you write a good essay, right? That will have very positive impact on the remaining examinations. God forbid you don't write your exam well, essay exam well, that obviously will have a negative impact on the remaining examinations. And let me tell you, this examination is all about adjustments, isn't it? Right? Let's say essay if you excel, and if you do not do your general studies well, 1 or 2 papers, and probably a paper of your option if you do not do well, this gets, right, counterbalanced by a good performance in your essay, right? So that's the significance of this topic called essay, right? And let's say there is a difference between getting 90 to 100 marks in essay and about 130 to 140 marks. Now, I love when we spoke to Hari sir, before we started the podcast today, Hari sir was telling me that even the good students are not crossing 120 marks. Right? Now, if you look at 120 marks, scoring 120 marks in general essay UPSC, we can say it's an average score. 130 is a good score. 140 is a very good score. 150 is top of the world, isn't it? But to get 150 marks in essay is not very easy. You also need to have that stroke of luck, the type of topic you choose, right? The examiner correcting your paper, and so many factors also play a role, but getting 140 marks is within our reach. And if we work towards it, definitely we can score 140 marks. And students, just try to imagine, let's say you don't prepare for the exam paper, with your residual knowledge in your general studies, with your experience, probably experience of 2 or 3 attempts or 1 or 2 attempts, and the strength of your optional, right, and your general reading and which is developed over a period of time, right, you will end up at about, let's say, 90 to 100 marks even without preparation. And suppose you prepare well, or a student prepares well and ends up at 130 to 140 marks. That is enough, isn't it? Those 30 to 40 marks are enough to make or mar your career, right? Yeah, you getting the interview call, and after getting the interview call, what service do you get? So in this context, essay plays a very significant role. So it is very pertinent for students preparing for the IAS examination to focus on essay. And ideally, a student before going for his mains examination should be able to practice about 40 to 50 essays spread over, let's say, 6 months to 1 year. You need not do it in a day. Ideally 2 essays per week, right? Let's say 8 essays per month, right? Let's say then 8 into 5, about 40. 8 into 6 months, about 48 to 50 essays. Probably you can also do it this way, about 30 essays, right, by the time you write your mains, and in the gap of 60 to 80 days between the prelims and mains, if you're able to practice another 20 essays. So I'll put it this way, the first 30 essays is to sharpen your skills, and the last 20 essays which you write in the gap between your prelims and mains, right, yeah, you'll be on the fast track mode, right? But to get into that, you need to practice these first 30 essays, which will sharpen your rough edges and which will hone your skills. So the last 20 essays will be just a smooth ride and perfectly place you for your mains examination. So this is the significance of general essay topic. And to add to this, you also have your essay, which is for about 600 to 800 words and for about 50 marks for your group 1. Then you also have a 400 word essay for your Reserve Bank of India, your NABARD, your Intelligence Bureau, right? The CAPF, all these examinations. So essay is a very significant, right, game changer as far this examination is concerned. So UPSC General Essay, 1000 to 1200 words, Group 1 General Essay for about 600 to 800 words. And the other exam which I've just mentioned, Reserve Bank of India, NABARD, CAPF, Intelligence Bureau, right? All this, the essay is for 400, it's a 400 word essay, right? So this is the significance.
Sir, now, to interrupt you, with my own experience being into teaching for almost last 1 decade, I have seen that in most institutes, that the time spent by the institute or even the students is not adequate to score high in the general essay paper.
Yes, sir.
So you have guided more than 30 to 50 students
yes,
last year.
Yes.
So what are the skill sets which are required by the candidates to score high in the general essay paper?
Yeah. Okay, that's a good question, Hari. A frequently asked question. Now, there is a misnomer that, right, I've read my general studies, right, I've read for my optional, and occasionally I've also been reading the papers. So why do I need to practice for the general essay? But that doesn't work that way. See, agreed, the strength of your optional preparation, the strength of your general studies, right, your paper reading, journal article reading, internet reading, yes, gets reflected in your essay. I mean, there is no second doubt about it. But you also need to practice. You need to put your pen on the paper and practice at least 40 to 50 essays in different themes or genres before you take your final mains general essay examination. So you need to practice. Reading, of course, you read for your general studies, you read the papers, and for your optional. But practice is the difference. The more you practice, the better you become. The harder you work, the luckier you get. That's what the great MS Dhoni says. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So practice is the key. Different genres and continuous evaluation of what you have written by faculty. That is very important, students. And see, general studies and optional you read. When coming to essay, reading the papers, See, one, we all read the Hindu, right? Hindu editorials. Then to an extent, probably Times of India editorial should also be good. Mint editorial is good when you want to write an essay when a topic is given on economics or general economy. Mint editorial also very simple and written by proper economists with good and sensible content. And then you have what is called, as far as Hindu is concerned, every Sunday we get what is called magazine paper, where very good articles are written. And exactly how do you need to phrase an essay, paragraphing is very well done as part of your magazine supplement on Sunday is concerned. Then of course you got open text, education plus, all which are supplements as far as Hindu is concerned. So they have to be read on a regular basis. And also occasionally you can read good articles. It's something on sociology by political science, Professor S.S. Jodka, right? Shiv Vishwanathan, right? Dipankar Gupta on sociology, right? Yeah, so you can also read their articles. So general reading, and most importantly, right, putting your pen on the paper, practice. The more you practice, the better you become.
Sir, if you take the UPSC mains exam, if you take all the papers in the mains exam, it is the general essay paper which is very scoring. There were students in the past like Apurva Pandey. She got 175 marks in the general essay paper. That's the highest limit which the students can reach. So after a general essay, it is the optional paper which is scoring. If they get 320, in one paper they are getting around 160. So that is followed by ethics. Then GS paper 2, then GS 1, then finally GS 3. So this is the order of different papers in the mains exam when it comes to scoring in the exam.
Right. Yes.
And then if you carefully see the notification given by UPSC, so there is one paragraph related to general essay. So there they have very clearly spelled out when an essay answer is written by the candidate in the UPSC mains exam, when the marks are given, they said that they look at certain things in the general essay answer. Like they said that keep closely to the subject of the essay.
Okay.
That's one rule which they have spelled out. So when the student writes the general essay answer, he must not deviate much from the demand of the essay. So that keep closely to the topic of the essay. Second one, they said that he should write concisely. So which might mean, so when you can communicate your idea in one sentence, try to do it in one sentence. Don't try to use too many sentences and too many words where it is not required. That probably means writing concisely. The third keyword which they have spelled out is credit will be given for effective expression. So when you write the general essay answer, when the evaluator reads it, he must feel it effective. He must have some impact on himself. And this can be done by several ways. So when you write the general essay answer, you can start the essay with a quotation or with a case study. So this is one way of making the essay answer effective. In addition to that, we can make the essay answer interesting to the reader by linking to current affairs. So what is happening around you with respect to the topic which was given in the exam. And there are other ways also, like giving case studies, referring to the reports, making use of data, and also trying to bring important personalities on the topic. So these are several ways how the essay answer can be made very effective. And UPSC itself is saying that credit will be given for effective expression.
True.
The next rule which was spelled out in the UPSC notification is arrange your ideas in an orderly manner. So this means structuring the essay properly. So a good introduction, body, followed by conclusion. So if ideas are properly arranged with a coherence, with a logical progression, then that will be rewarded.
Yes.
So these are the 4 rules which are spelled out in the UPSC notification. Apart from UPSC, like the exams which you referred to, APPSC Group 1, TSPSC Group 1, other exams conducted by UPSC, there also they have spelled out certain rules like. So when you write the general essay answer, what they are looking for is your awareness of the topic on which you are writing. So writing a general essay answer is totally different from writing a GS answer. Because GS answer you write for 1 or 2 pages, and if you know 2-3 points, you can expand it and get some sensible marks.
Yes.
But essay is not like that. You should write for 10 to 12 pages. Unless you are a widely read person, you can't write for 10 to 12 pages meaningfully. So that's why the other rule is, when you write the general essay answer, your awareness on the topic on which you are writing will also be taken into consideration. And in addition to this, The other rules which speak about writing a good general essay answer is grammatical correctness. So most of the toppers who got very high scores in the general essay paper, if you read their scripts, most of them, they have got a very good command over the language, which means it doesn't mean that you need to use very high sounding words. Not required.
Simple English, right?
So even simple English, but you should frame the sentences very properly by using verbs and adjectives. So you should get a proper meaning out of every sentence which you are using. True. So that's the meaning of grammatical correctness. Yes. So awareness of the subject, grammatical correctness. And apart from that, other dimension which should be reflected in the general essay answer is originality of thought. So your personality must get reflected in the answer on which you are writing in the general essay paper. So especially when you conclude the general essay answer, are you a person with a liberal mind? Are you a person in terms of conservatism? Are you trying to find fault with what is happening in the society? Are you trying to find solutions for these problems? So the examiner wants to know the kind of personality what you are.
Excellent.
So are you a troublemaker, or you want to be a troubleshooter? You want to be part of solution, or you want to be just a mere critic? So these are 7-8 rules which the students have to be kept in mind when writing the general essay answer. So these are very clearly spelled out in various notifications issued for different competitive exams. So when I took my own mains exam in 2010 and 11, when we took the exam, it was for 200 marks. 200. So I got 120. In 2010 mains exam, I got 120 for 200. If you translate it for 250, it's 140.
Oh, which is a very good mark.
140 is a very good score.
Yeah, it's a winning score.
In 2011, I got 121, which means again 140. Out of 250. So the students in the last 2 to 3 years, they are getting not more than 120 marks.
Yes, Hari. I think they have lost focus. They have
lost focus.
Yeah, they have just taken it for granted, right?
Yes, sir. 4-5 years back, as I said, Apurva Pandey, she got 175 marks in the general essay. So the problem, the reason why
that would have got a very good rank also, isn't it?
Obviously, sir. The reason why I think that students are not getting very high scores in the general essay paper probably is that the institutes are not spending time, even the students are also not spending time. Though essay paper is difficult, but if you spend time, work on the themes, scoring high is very much possible.
True. Yeah. There's a simple way of getting it also, right?
The other dimension is, sir, if you see the questions which have come in the past, you can draw certain themes which are important for the general essay paper. Exactly. Say if you identify certain, say 15 to 20 themes, like a women empowerment can be a theme, poverty can be a theme, sustainable development can be a theme, power can be a theme, democracy can be a theme.
True.
And every theme, the students must start working.
Yeah.
The teacher should support them. Like they should start working on quotations, important quotations given by great personalities on that particular theme. They should come up with important personalities.
Like a quotation by Swami Vivekananda, Gandhiji, Nelson Mandela, Abraham Lincoln. And I think they'll all be very useful. Dr. Abdul Kalam. Right?
True, sir. Exactly. So on every theme, the most important quotes by great personalities, they have to collect them very consciously.
Yes.
And in addition to that, they can use useful data from economic survey to substantiate their views.
True.
And they can also bring in case studies. So this work the student must do on every theme.
Yeah.
If they can give that time, if the faculty can give that time, and if they work on these themes in all these dimensions, there is no reason that they can, there is every reason that they can score very high in the general essay paper. But unfortunately, neither the institutes are making them to do this work, nor the students are doing by themselves. This is the biggest gap which I see in this UPSC preparation. And if this can be corrected, I think the students can score high in the general essay paper.
True. You're right, Hari. For example, in 2016, you had an essay topic called "Is Cooperative Federalism in India a Myth
or Reality?"
Is it or a myth or a reality? Yeah, then that in fact is a brilliant topic, brilliant essay. And if students could write well, will they not get 140, 150? And let's say you're at 140, you're automatically 10 steps ahead of others, right? At the start of writing the examination, mains examination itself, isn't it? And the kind of confidence you'll have for the remaining papers, you'll have a very positive impact, isn't it? But for that, you need to prepare. Cooperative federal, you'll have to come up with the relevant data, isn't it? Probably something like your Finance Commission data, which talks about federalism, isn't it?
Sir, one more thing, sir. As you rightly said just now, the answer writing is much more important for the general essay paper, because if it is GS paper, writing for 2 pages is very much possible with the
Because you
residual
already
knowledge.
know, you already have the knowledge.
With the
isn't
residual
it?
knowledge what they have. But
That's
writing
true.
for 1000 to 1200 words for 10 to 12 pages really needs a lot of writing.
Yeah.
Practice,
Yeah.
which most students are not doing. And you have done a very good job last year making almost 30 to 50
Yes, we
students
made it right, and
30
some
essays.
students, Hari, we are so happy, even on behalf of the Amigos IAS Academy, where we started this program. I mean, there are some students who we really stood out. I mean, at that age, writing 40 essays consistently, and if you observe them after since we've started, I think August, and we ended the program. I mean, it got just slightly delayed. We ended the program at around January 31st.
January write times are not an issue.
I mean,
Till
that was for
January.
about 5 months, Harinath, and we made them write about 50 essays. What we gave them, they wrote about 40 essays. And I've been clearly observing their transition from the 1st of August, let's say, or 15th of August. Once they start writing this, the way they've transformed their personality. Because, Hari, as you rightly said, essay is also a reflection of your personality, the topic given to you, right? Isn't it? Like what, I mean, if we had a discussion before we started, isn't it? A society which is not engendered is endangered, isn't it? So your personality comes out. See, Hari, 2 places in this examination where your personality actually gets counted, reflected. One I always feel is your essay exam. Second, obviously, is the interview. So 2 great tests for personality, isn't it?
You can also
Essay,
add ethics also, sir.
right,
Ethics
essay,
paper.
excellent. Essay, ethics, and your interview, where your personality comes out, isn't it? And where it also gets well appreciated. Very, very well said, Hari, right? So practice is the key.
True, sir. Most of the students, they get struck. See, once they get started writing the general essay, they are struck. So the students which have done that practice of writing 30 essays would have transformed rightly over a period of time. Because every time when they write the essay answer, they get right kind of inputs from the faculty.
Yeah.
So what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, where they can improve upon. So if they consistently get inputs for correcting themselves over a period of 6 months, there is a deal of transformation which happens in the student. And this is what is really required. So this happens only when the student is mentally prepared to take these exams, to listen to the teacher, and to start writing. Unless they do this, they can never get transformed. They should never expect scoring high in the general essay paper.
And also, Hari, I mean, we are all so fortunate to be part of this academy. I mean, this time we'll have 2 faculty, myself and yourself, right? Correcting the essay papers. Just like how the UPSC does, isn't it? Where 2 faculty, generally they say evaluate your essay. So I'll be evaluating their essays, you'll be evaluating their essays. The students can get the best of both of us, isn't it? Right? For example, in essay, my perspective, because we are all human beings, right? So let's say I give 110 out of, let's say, 250, isn't it? Right? And then half the score. And then let's say you give 120. So we'll take an average of both the scores and give the students 115.
Sir, this happens even in interviews, sir. What they say is, I spoke to one of the members of UPSC after his retirement. He was saying that only. There are 5 members in the personality test in the interview board.
Okay.
One of the members of UPSC will be the chairman of that panel.
Yes.
So after the interview gets over, all the members of that panel, they will try to award marks to the student.
Yes.
So 40%, 50%,
That's
60%.
Yeah.
They will take an average of this and then finally decide the marks.
Yeah, the chairman takes the final decision.
So chairman takes in exceptional situations, the chairman can try to give more marks than what recommended by other members.
When he's impressed by his personality.
But by giving strong reasons. He can't do it without valid reasons.
That's true, yeah.
So probably even when it comes to the mains exam, I don't think that it will be evaluated by only one person.
That's true, right.
So maybe 2 people will be evaluating and the average of that might be taken.
And when 2 senior faculty like you and me, like both of us, we jointly evaluate. So they'll have the best of the perspectives, isn't it? Right? So they get the average of the scores. Right? Both of us will be there to guide them, isn't it? I'll give my perspective, you will give your perspective, isn't it? I might miss on one dimension, which you can cover, right? Let's say you miss on one dimension, I'm going to cover it, right? So they have the best advantage. The students who consistently practice with us.
Sir, even I feel that the student should not be worried about in what stage he is there. Prelims, mains interview. He should make it a habit that he should feel like writing the general essay once in a while.
Sure.
Even when it is prelims exam season, January to May, doesn't matter. One essay in a month just to get relaxed for himself
Yeah.
on a topic which he was reading in the recent past. He can just do that on regular basis over a period of 1 year. That will greatly transform his writing skills.
Sure. That's
So
true.
the students must do on voluntary basis, and that practice will make a very big difference. And we as teachers in the institute, we should try to inculcate this into the minds of the students, that instead of joining formally for the test series, they can do that. Even otherwise, they must make it as a habit, writing frequently once in a while,
That's
once in a month, over a period of time, and then they can get the right kind of inputs from the teachers, and then they can transform. And this is what the students have to do on daily basis, on regular basis.
Probably ideally 2 essays per week, Hari sir.
Sir, one is even enough, sir.
One,
If it is
okay,
spread
so
over a
5
period of
essays per
6
month.
months, if
That's
it is
true.
spread over
Oh,
a
you'll
period
be
of
writing
6
30
months,
essays, right?
even if you write 3 in a month, it will be more than 18.
18 essays.
18 is adequate practice.
Good, 18 to 20 essays, right? But you should construct that habit, right?
So we need to tell the students that this paper is very important. It is going to be a game changer. We need
Yes,
to
definitely.
constantly
Right.
indoctrinate them, take them into confidence, make them
Yeah.
think about this, and then only they will try to write about this paper, sir. Otherwise,
That's true.
they have a lot of inertia.
That's true.
They were wrongly
that's true. They have to
guided.
get over that.
They were wrongly guided by even faculty and institute that knowledge in other papers will be adequate to write the general essay paper, which is not true.
If that is the case, why will our students end at 80 or 90?
Exactly. They need to give time and work on the essay paper, identify the themes, and collect whatever is important for those themes. That the students are not doing.
True.
If they start doing this essay paper nowadays, it becomes a nightmare for many students.
That's
They
true.
are
They're ending
completely
at 50s
clueless.
and 60s. Hari, probably they would have excelled in their optional. But if you land up at 60, you're just out of the race, isn't it?
Some gets 120, some get 60. There is a difference
Once
of
you get
60
60, you're
marks.
just out of the race.
This makes a big difference.
That's
getting
true,
an
that's
interview
enough.
or getting an IAS service
That's
or
true.
not. So this
Exactly.
importance of this paper must be communicated to the students
That's true.
by the institute and also by the faculty.
By the faculty.
On regular basis. Then only they will realize this importance and start doing whatever is necessary for this.
Sure. And also, Hari, what I've heard is people who usually do their essay well also excel in their interview. Because both of them, the common trait is expression of personality, isn't it?
Very true, sir. Very true.
And we all look at one exam, essay, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, optional, interview. It's not piecemeal, right? Right? So it's an integrated approach.
As you rightly said, UPSC mains exam gets started with essay paper. If your student has done extremely well in the essay paper, he will carry forward that positive vibes
That's
for
true.
the remaining
Confidence,
papers.
right? That's true.
And moreover, essay is about articulating
That's
your
true.
ideas to the examiner. And if you do well in the essay paper, it gets reflected even in the personality test.
That's true.
So if you do well in the essay paper, that means you can equally do well in the personality test as well.
That's true.
So all these
True.
are linked. That's why the student must take note of this, the importance of this paper. Then only they can make it very productive for essay, personality test, and even positive vibes for the remaining papers after the general essay paper.
Very true, Hari. Hope students realize that. And it's our bounden duty to educate them, to create awareness, and to communicate in the way they understand. Right? End of the day, it's a highly competitive examination, isn't it? Right? The quality of competition is increasing, the scale of competition is increasing, the awareness levels are increasing, right? Now, Hari, if I can make it just, if I can just take another 5 or 10 minutes and explain my approach to the essay.
Yes, sir.
Hari, what I always feel is essay, the strategy for essay is very simple one. It's not rocket science, it's not quantum chemistry or nuclear physics. It's a simple approach, simple examination, which needs a simple approach and a simple strategy. Now, I'll start it this way. What is an essay? General essay is nothing but your view or your perspective or your understanding of an issue. Yeah, it's a general essay, general perspective, not a technical perspective. For example, I just said, right, is cooperative federalism in India a myth or a reality? See, this definitely is a topic which cuts across economy and polity. Right? Though this topic might be centered around economy, right, it's not necessary that you fill up the entire essay with the data, isn't it? Right? Use, as you rightly said, from the economic survey, pick up relevant data, which makes the essay, which you just said, which is more effective to the person correcting your paper, right? Yeah. So it's not a technical perspective, it's a general perspective, right? See, even it's an essay based on philosophy, right? You need not write like Shakespeare or Rabindranath Tagore, isn't it? You're not a poet. You are a student who is appearing for the examination. So remember, it's a general perspective, general understanding, general view on any issue or topic. That's how I define a general essay. Then what I say is, there are 3 steps for writing an essay in UPSC. Step 1 is understanding the context and significance of the topic given to you. For example, the time given is 90 minutes, isn't it? Right? For each essay, let's say. Right? And hurry, it also depends on what topic you choose. Suppose, let's say, you choose a tough essay and an easy essay. Right? So what do you start with? Suppose, let's say you choose a tough essay and you spend out of the 180 minutes, you spend 100 minutes and you do justice. The second essay you should be able to write within 80 minutes, isn't it? Right? You can't write for 200 minutes, isn't it? Just 180 minutes. So to make it more scientific and to have a more clinical approach towards it, I'll put it this way. 90 minutes. Step 1, understanding the context and significance of the essay should take about 5 minutes. That's very important. You see a topic, just don't start blindly write it, right? Look at all the topics, choose them, right? That's where your wisdom, your practice, the more you practice, the better you become, we said, right? That's where practice comes to the fore, right? Choose the topic, right?
So pick a statement where you are very comfortable,
where you are
aware.
Right? Or else if you take it as a challenge, a tough topic, and do justice to it. For even that you need practice, right? Suppose all the topics are tough. So in area you have to choose, or else let's say you choose one tough topic and one easy topic. It's your choice, or it comes with practice. So step 1 is very important. Please understand, we always give this example, isn't it? 2 people go to the forest to cut a tree, right? Person A and person B. You give both of them have an axe in their hand respectively, right? The first person, the minute he sees, right, the bell rings, the competition, the bell rings, he starts cutting down the tree, keeps on chopping the tree. The second person, B, what does he do? He'll spend the first 10 minutes in sharpening his axe. And in the next 20 minutes, he's going to chop the tree, cut the tree. The first person will take 45 to 50 minutes to cut the tree. See, both are effective, but who is more efficient? Second person. So you need to be that person, isn't it, right? So that's where your step 1 becomes very significant.
True.
See, suppose Hari has given this topic, or Govind has given this topic, or XYZ who has given the faculty, or the UPSC who has given the topic to you. See, there would have been something in their mind, isn't it? When you or me or UPSC sets a topic for the students for practice, there's something in our mind. For example, the best use of imagination is creativity. The worst use of imagination is anxiety. You talk about today's youth. So probably I have the today's youth in my mind, their aspirations, right? The competition they are facing. Yeah, when I had this in my mind when I gave you this topic. So this step number 1, where you spend 5 minutes, makes you understand the context and significance why this topic has been given to you, which makes your essay more and more effective when you write, rather than just blindly looking at the topic and start writing. Step 2 is building your skeletal framework. That should take about obviously 8 to 10 minutes. Each student has got his own method. One draws a mind map, one draws a flow chart, one draws a diagram. I mean, a pyramid, bar, cylinder. I mean, every student has got his own approach. That takes about 8 to 10 minutes.
Thought framework.
Yeah, okay, done. Thought framework, right? So that takes about 5 plus 8 to 10, about 10 to 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
So basically, we're left with the next 75 to 80 minutes for step 3. Step 3 is what? Introduction, body and conclusion. Introduction, 1200 words is the essay. An ideal introduction should not be more than 100 to 150 words, right? Body in about 850 words plus or minus. An ideal conclusion is about 200 words. Now, all 3 parts are very important. See, I'll just compare this to an aeroplane, right, which is there in ready to take off. The introduction, right, it is on the runway, gathering momentum, right? Then, the body of the essay is where the plane takes off. It's on the flight. And the landing is also equally important, isn't it? Conclusion is also equally important. A lot of students don't do that, right? A good conclusion fetches that extra 5 to 10 marks. right? Yeah, that really you need to keep your focus going, right? So introduction about 150 words, body about 850 words, and conclusion about 150 to 200 words. Perfect, 1000 to 100 words. Now, the logic is very simple, students. Hurry for, see, suppose you take general studies. What's the logic that we have today? Because it's all now the survival of the fastest, isn't it? Right? Time is a premium for the mains examination, right? See, 150 words you need to write in about 6 minutes. General studies answer, optional general studies, and 200 words in about 8 minutes, and 250 words in about 10 minutes. That's because, as you've already, very well said, Hari, because they already know, okay, Pradhana Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, features, the pros and cons, improvements, you already know what it is, 1, 2, 3, so you're able to put that 200 words in about 8 to 10 minutes of time. But essay isn't that, isn't it, right? So that's the reason why, right, they give you 90 minutes, because they expect you to write about 200 words in 15 minutes. 15 into 6 is 90 minutes, 1000 to 200 words. That's the logic that UPSC, right, has come out with. Because you're not prepared for it. You need to prepare, because you need to do it there itself, isn't it? There itself. It's not like a general studies answer. An ideal introduction, you start with an event, a quotation or a story, or a personality or an example, followed by the abstract. That is, you have to tell the examiner what you're going to tell him over the next 1000 to 1200 words. Yeah, what stand do you take? Is it in support of argument, in support of the topic given to you, or against, or you want to take a balanced stand? That is where your personality gets reflected. And what stand you've taken as part of an abstract introduction, in about 150 words introduction, right? Yeah, essay abstract is about 30 to 40 words. Yeah, you'll have to, what you've written in the abstract, the thesis statement, what we call it, right? The body of the essay should be aligned with the stand you've taken, right? Yeah. So that's your introduction. Then body. Body has got 3 parts. Yeah, context, content, coherence, right? Challenges and solutions. So body start with context, the definition of the topic given to you. You introduce the context, right? Probably you talk about the Indian society, its nature, its characteristic, a prismatic society, a society with multiple challenges, a society with pluralistic, right? Multi-religious, multicultural, right? A society which is in transition, right? So the context of the topic given to you. Then you come to the content. Content, the range, isn't it? You talk about the political dimension, the economic dimension, the social dimension, the technological dimension, the foreign policy dimension, the ethical dimension, right? Emotional dimension. Suppose if it is a topic on philosophy, probably in a paragraph you can also write your own personal example, what has inspired you, right? And coming to paragraphing in the body, Hari, as you said, very important. Paragraph should not cross 6 to 8 sentences or 6 to 8 lines. The longer the paragraph you write, there are 2 disadvantages. One is, we are all human beings, still A is not taken out, right? A human being correcting your paper might get lost in the content if the paragraph is too big. You might write very good points, but I'll get lost, isn't it? You drive on the highway, you always have the speed breakers to keep you, what they call alert, isn't it? So that you don't fall asleep.
You'll also put a burden on the evaluator.
Yeah, that's
very
true,
lengthy.
Right? See, it should be a pleasure to correct your paper. Not a punishment, isn't it?
No.
Right? Yeah. So if content is the king, presentation is the queen, right? So an ideal paragraph, as you rightly said, should not cross 8 to 10 lines, right? Yeah. And whenever you change a context, change a paragraph. Writing long paragraphs, longer sentences, poetic sentences actually not needed. So the dimensions, yeah. Then you come after context, the content, then you come to the challenges and solutions. Suppose you've already filled in the 850 words in the body, a part of the solutions can be brought as part of conclusion. Conclusion, we said, is about 200 words, right? So conclusion has got 2 parts, summary and the solutions, the vision, the framework.
Way forward.
Yeah. So summary is the way forward, right? Summary is about 30 to 40 words. That is, you will tell the examiner what you've already told him. Yeah, that makes it clear to the person correcting your paper. Second, when you write an essay, you're already, stressed, isn't it? So if you write a summary, your mind gets relaxed. Then you'll come out with the second part of the conclusion, the way forward, the solutions, the vision, or whatever it is. Right? An ideal solution which is pragmatic. Right? An ideal solution, a pragmatic solution. Right? It can be creative, but also it should be feasible and pragmatic, practical. Right? So 150 words, 850 words, 200. That's about 1000 plus or minus 1000 to 1200 words. Paragraphing, size of the paragraph is very important, right? And you said, Hari, the essence, you hit the nail on that, the essence of quotations. You've got good quotations books, you go to your Google Scholar, right? Good quotations by Abdul Kalam sir, by Mahatma Gandhi, right? Nelson Mandela, right? Then you have Winston Churchill, Aung San Suu Kyi, brilliant, right? Your Abraham Lincoln,
Ambedkar,
so many, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, excellent, right? Mahatma Gandhi, poverty, the worst kind of violence. My life is my message. Practice what you preach. Right? So many good quotations, isn't it? Vivekananda's inspirational quotations, right? Nelson Mandela's thought-provoking quotations, right? So then, ideal essay about 1,200 words. Paragraphing, good quotations, which is like how you sprinkle what you call kothmir, or to make the food more spices, to make your food more tasty. That's how we also sprinkle these quotations. So, like you said, so many, I will say about ideally about 4 to 5 quotations for each essay. Right?
Even one every page is also
one every
good.
Page also good. That makes it 8 to 10 quote wonderful. Right? Nothing like it. If you're able to, you'll have to reach a stage where you can manufacture your own quotations. Right? Put it in neat inverted commas, in big words. So below that, write a paragraph. Let's say of 6 lines. Then again, a bigger paragraph of 8 lines. Because that makes the presentation look so tidy, isn't it? Because ultimately the way you present matters, isn't it? The same coffee which you get it for 20 rupees can also be sold for 250 rupees in a Nilofer cafe, isn't it? So people throng though it is 250 rupees. Isn't it right? So this is, according to me, a simple strategy, Hari. There's nothing to worry about it. Right? The more you practice, the better you become. But practice is the key essence. Not just reading. There's a difference between reading and writing, that is putting it on paper. So ideally, if you're able to practice about 50 essays before you take your mains, before your prelims, about 30 essays, then the gap between prelims and mains has obviously now reduced. We had about 140, if you remember our days, 2019 we were about 130 to 140 days, isn't it? Almost 150 days, right? But now since you're only 70 days, so I need to make that practice prior, right? 30 essays before your prelims, and about 15 to 20 essays in that gap of 60 days. Yeah, the first 30 will sharpen all your rough edges, right? Will mold you, and the next 20, right, will be a smooth, right? So ideally, then if you do this, I don't know, I mean, students should get good marks. 130 to 140 is possible, 140. 150, I'll say you also need that stroke of luck, the type of topic you choose, right? And practice also, why I say it is so essential is because on the day of examination, let's say one scenario where all the essays are tough, right? If you practice, you know what topic you need to choose and how much of time you can complete it, right? One topic, if I write for 120 minutes, it's waste, isn't it? The next topic I'm left with 60 minutes, right? So practice also makes you choose the essay in which you're competent, and you'll be able to do justice to both the essays in a space of 180 minutes. Let's say essay 1 you've taken 90 minutes, exactly 90 minutes for essay 2. 100 minutes for essay 1, let's say you've crossed. You're left with 80 minutes. And since you've got prior practice, you'll also be able to excel in a space of 80 minutes in your second essay also.
True.
So this is what I like to...
General essay paper, it appears to be tough, but it is also the most scoring paper. And it is the game changer, it will be the game changer. And the reason why it becomes difficult for most of the students is they don't spend time on it, they don't try to understand its dynamics. Start spending time, try to understand the dynamics of this paper, try to know the themes which are important for this paper, start working on these themes, then it becomes easy for you and you can take advantage of the general essay paper to score high in the mains exam, to get an interview call, to get into a service of your dream. So that's it about the strategy for general essay program in this episode. Thank you so much, sir, for being the part of this program, and thank you and all the best.
So we'll have a combination of two good faculty. we'll be doing justice for you. Thank you, students. Thank you so much for the patient here.